All right, I call this March 9th, 2026 meeting of the Momire Town Council to order. All members are present. We got a room full again in attendance, and welcome to all of you. First item is the consent agenda, which is the approval of the February 23rd minutes, the approval of the financials, and of Budget Amendment 5, which is for election expense. And more than we budgeted.
I have, on the financials, for February, $4,800, for Alton fees, it needs the cents 00 on it, it's just got the 4,800. But the figures, totals are correct. And also on, under, promotional items, the 5,000 for the budget is wasn't brought forward over here to this side, but the totals are correct.
Anything else?
With the note of the corrections, I just make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Any further discussion? All in favor of approval of the consent agenda with the noted corrections, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Should we have any public comments on it?
No, sir.
Mr. Jackson, you have a fire report.
No, I don't. I don't hear Cody could add anything to the final report.
The only thing I say is the equipment's up all up and running, and right now we got a good, slate of guys that's working.
I don't know where the guys out of place or out of town, but I've requested it about 3 times in the last week. I ain't got anything. Do you know if he's working today here or?
No, he's not working today here, Collins is working today.
All right, other reports from the council?
COG meets the 17th, so he's gonna,
Jordana Edwards is up for first court audit. No worries.
I wanna thank Richard for his work on the town seal.
Absolutely.
Good job.
Thank you.
Now we're up for a planning board update with Brian Edwards.
At the planning board meeting on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, the planning board continued our discussion on the rough draft of the current ordinance with proposed changes. Joshua Hollis got the 160D statutory review completed and over to town clerk Sheila Alford and the planning board chair Brian Edwards on Thursday, February 26th. The planning board began by reviewing the recommendations from Joshua Hollis on the proposed language changes to parts of our current ordinance. From the board's review came several questions for Joshua Hollis. Planning board chair Brian Edwards will send the questions to Joshua Hollis to review and provide answers. The planning board reviewed the the zoning districts and after discussion decided to remove R3 residential district to focus on single-family homes rather than duplexes. Planning board discussed regulating shipping containers for storage after discussion on the current ordinance and how to grandfather current shipping containers that already exist within the town limits. The board discussed would like to see what the town of Nashville has as well as the city of Wilson in their ordinances regarding shipping containers to get examples of how we can draft our ordinance. Town clerk Schuhofer advised the town council that the town council has voted to display the flags from Memorial Day through Veterans Day to celebrate the United States 250th anniversary. Only taking the flags down if severe weather is expected for an extended period. 40 new American-made flags were purchased by the town and will be installed on the new poles. The planning board discussed concerns about neighboring Spring Oak trying to take over part of Momar's extraterritorial jurisdiction. And then our next planning board meeting will be Tuesday, March 31st, 6:30 p.m. to continue our review of the current town code and town ordinance. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Brian. While we're on the subject of the planning board, when we did our budget this year, we did only budget 6 meetings. So we need to allocate more funds for them so we can keep that.
So we need a motion?
We need a motion. They've had exactly 6 meetings this fiscal year. So in order to continue paying them, we need to move to add to that budget line item.
Is there a number you want to put, or just?
I would, Brian, probably gonna be monthly for the rest of the year, for the rest of the fiscal year. So I would say give them another 6 meetings, because that'll get us through the.
Do we have to put a number on it, or just as needed?
Be better if you put a number on
I'll make
it.
a motion, we add additional 6 meetings,
Second.
and we address that if needed.
Any further discussion on that? All right, motion is that we allocate funds to pay the planning board for an additional 6 meetings this fiscal year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I would just like to ask Brian, did you feel like you got a better response this time?
I had to stay on him. He was supposed to have it done by the 23rd, Monday, February 23rd, and we didn't get it until Thursday. So I had to stay on him. So definitely not the service that you would expect to be getting.
I hope when he does come back, he's more prepared, and
Yeah,
I was not impressed with the one he did at the Roosevelt.
yeah.
I'm not trying to stir, anything up. I just want to make sure it's noted that we have kind of dissatisfaction. Maybe we could address it if we need to at some
Right,
point.
exactly.
And just, I know you've got detailed records, but I would just say if it continues, that maybe we could at least, not in a threatening way, but just say
We're not happy with this.
It's not what we expected.
Right, yeah, yeah.
we're disappointed with.
Exactly. Agreed.
Okay.
Moving on to Taryn Edwards with Community Outreach.
So the outreach committee met on Thursday, the 5th, and at 6:30, and we thank you for approving the National Day of Prayer. We went forward with the planning. We've got all 3 pastors, one from one from Momar, one from Mount Zion, and one from the Faith Temple Church. So we've got Pastor Brenda Lucas, Brandon Martin, and Jay Sessoms, on the agenda.
Oh, good.
This,
Which one is that? Is the railroad track or the one?
no, it's the
Sanctified
one
Church
beside
Road?
Teresa's.
Yeah. Yeah, right, Teresa's, yeah. She's on the, Spring Hope Council, and
Oh.
I see her at the COG
The
meetings.
one on Young Road, is that active?
There's a question about that.
Yeah,
They don't, there was a comment that they said they didn't think they were active anymore, but, Tracy and Nancy were gonna do a physical try and find them, at
I know
some
for a
point.
while it was like every other.
But they did, you know, they just recently put that sign, like a godly ministries or a godly love or
right,
something, the new sign up, and it's been fairly recent, so that's where the question is coming in, is it, you know, why would they do that and then not me? So,
right, yeah, yeah.
But then, anyway, so one of the questions, that we needed help with is, the communication to the town, about the event itself. There are prepared postcards that are a very good price, $50 for $14.99. And then there's, bulletin inserts for $14.99 for 100. The committee is requesting that we purchase the 150 of the postcards and the 3 of the 100 count pre-printed bulletin inserts to mail out, and the bulletin inserts, 100 would go to each church for them to
Right,
insert themselves. And then the postage to cover that, let's see, I think the numbers, I left my phone at the house, but I think the numbers were $45 for the postcards, $45 for the inserts, and mailing 150 postcards was gonna be like $11.13.
So it's a little over $100.
A little bit. And we were gonna make our own flyer to put out. Those are pre-printed also, where we can download them for like $2.99, and not have to recreate the wheel. But this is one that I came up with in case and this is the postcard, the way that they look. I'm sorry I don't have them for everybody.
that's all right.
We did get approval, from the fire department to use the fire department and the Realty Club to use the parking area. Let's see, what else? So the formal approval. Mayor, there is a mayoral proclamation that is available to personalize if you feel that that's something that you don't mind doing.
Shoot it to me.
And then we'd just like to encourage everybody from the town council and mayor and the town clerk to attend that event, please. Our next meeting is not the 2nd because of a conflict, but it'll be April 9th at 6:30. I don't know if I need to address this now, but I'm not sure about the video for Thursday night. I did record the meeting, the whole meeting.
Okay.
I just don't know where how to download that format to and who to send it to, if we have to.
If you could,
I mean, I
I wasn't aware y'all were having the meeting, which may have just been oversight on my fault.
Okay.
If you can shoot me the audio just to my email,
Okay,
I'll figure out how to get it up there.
Okay.
I had to do that with our last meeting because I had a finger glitch back there with the recorder. So our last meeting was basically a still image of this room with sound.
the sound was good.
I used her
Okay,
device there to get the sound over. So if you can do that, I'll deal with it.
okay,
I may have to convert it to different file
okay.
types and stuff. No big deal.
I think that's it for us.
Okay.
Nancy, is there anything else? Okay.
So it looks like what we do need to do as far as the council goes is talk about getting their postcards and all that good stuff ordered. For just over $100. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Taryn, but I've got 150 postcards at $45 plus $11 postage, and then 300 bulletin inserts also at $45. Okay. So, all for the council.
I'll make a motion, we pay for the literature for the outreach committee. And postage.
Second.
Any further discussion?
And we did just want to ask, how's the best way for us to go about purchasing that? Does one of us need to purchase and get reimbursed? Do we work with you and go to the town?
Whichever you guys prefer. If they take a card on there, we can use the town card to do it.
Okay, okay.
That saves
Right.
time and paperwork and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
She'll come by here, Taryn, we can order
Okay,
them.
thank you.
And I was gonna tell you, I've got to get postage for some envelopes I've got to send out. You'll let me know how many you want, I'll pick up your stamps when I go get your postage.
Okay, 150.
All right, so we have motion and second on making these purchases. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor of purchasing 150 postcards plus postage and 300 bulletin inserts, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
It's the date for the national day, right?
May 7th,
Yeah, myself.
Thank you.
and it'll be from 7 to 7:30.
At the fire department.
Yes.
Just a question, do you have some cushion time built in there for, as far as the fire department goes, in case people linger?
Student
In case
service.
they linger.
In case people linger, hang out a little
Doesn't
bit
say-
longer.
Oh,
What's the time?
7 to 7:30.
Yeah, that's a short time window,
Oh,
so just
you
wanna
mean
make sure
at
you
the
got.
fire department
Yeah,
itself?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Just wanna make
And
sure
you
you got a
got
little
three,
more.
you got three preachers speaking?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
that sounds awfully short if you're gonna get 3 preachers going.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's something that we can, we can, make sure happens.
Did we have any correspondence yet? We didn't move anything from the consent agenda, so, on to new business. Town seal. Jonathan has kindly delivered finished product. I'm thrilled with it. All of y'all I've talked to are thrilled with it,
Yep.
so. My next recommendation here, and everybody's gonna roll their eyes a little bit, but we now own this image. This is property of the town of Momire. As with any piece of property, we should consider protecting it. That means going through a trademark process. I've done about that much research on it, not much. Going directly through the patent office is $399. LegalZoom does go another route that they do some of the legwork, because there's a lot of legwork, for about $800. I would like to look a little more in-depth at other options, speak to our attorney, see if he can handle it, that kind
So
of thing
that
too.
would cover somebody getting our artwork and printing their own shirts or,
Exactly, or something ugly. I can see us making somebody mad and printing something nasty across the front of our logo.
Right.
Mayor, can I interject something?
Yep.
Spring Hope is messing right now with trying to come up with a logo, and they also have a train in mind, and they're not as far along as you guys. So,
well, they have a seal.
So,
They've had one,
well, they don't like it, maybe.
so they're gonna change their seal.
To the best of my understanding,
Cause they've got one hanging in their meeting room.
It would keep somebody from
It would
using
keep
that
somebody
same
from
train.
using
Yeah, that's what I'm
Same.
saying, watch out.
you have artist signature here, but we now own the property.
Right.
This is our property, and we need to protect it.
Yeah.
So that's recommendation one. And if you'll say go for it, I'll talk to our attorney and see if he's got recommendations and, as well as
Well, I would
a
make
little more needed.
a recommendation from the council that you go forward to investigate seeing what else is, what's the best path to take.
Okay. The next piece of that we also, again, this is a strong suggestion from me, from looking into what other places are having to do and deal with. While I'm talking to the attorney, we probably need to consider a licensing agreement for who's gonna be printing this thing. And what I mean by that is, rather than go down to whatever shop, whether it be Taryn doing embroidery or somebody doing screen printing or whatever, and having a whole bunch of boxes sitting out here of sizes we may or may not ever sell, you give permission to use the image.
To use what?
To use the image. And whoever is part of that licensing agreement are the only people who receive that software package that we have. And that way you are controlling the use of your image.
The only one I've dealt with is Keep Printing in Nashville.
So that would give us we can choose who we want to have that image.
Which they would have to accept on their end too.
They would have to accept our constraints, which is no alteration of the image would probably be the big one,
Right.
except in size and color. Would be the only things that you would allow alterations on. But no, by that way, you're keeping somebody from adding something to it or and all of that. Key was one of the ones that I thought of. And in that way, that person is actually the one selling the product too. It's not us getting into the t-shirt business,
Right.
which is a whole different animal.
Well, I had to go through the same, I had stuff printed up for the NRA, and NRA owned
Right,
the art,
exactly.
Right, yeah.
and they had to coincide with Keep Printing.
Right.
And we actually came up with something, we added Nash County to it, NRA.
Right.
And the NRA had to approve it, but they did.
Exactly. And I go through the same thing with Trail Life.
And it was the same seal or artwork, we just added Nash County.
Exactly. A good example also is Trail Life. I can't print Trail Life USA on a t-shirt. They own that without their permission. Now, they don't charge me for permission, but they have to.
That's the same thing we did, you know.
I can write Trail Life Troop North Carolina 834, but I can't write Trail Life USA.
They actually did some other, used the same NRA logo, but they did other counties also, so they know.
Exactly. It's a fairly common practice,
It
but
was
again,
new
it's
to me, but
protecting your.
it wasn't new to them.
Exactly. It's a fairly common practice, but again, it's protecting your property.
Well, I would say that we'd certainly like to make products available and excited if somebody wants to partner with us. I don't think we want to get into a retail store business
No.
of any fashion, in here.
So I will touch base with our attorney on both of those issues on the tenancy and, whether he's able to help us with the trademark or not, we'll see. And
I
we'll
don't
work
know
from
where
there.
you'd be able to, so you don't think the town needs to buy any shirts?
I'm not saying that, I'm saying I don't want us to turn into a retail store, that we have products available and Sheila's running back there looking in boxes
Right.
for sizes and,
Right.
you know, I just don't see that being what we wanna get into if a business wants to promote, you know, and we can help promote it, I just don't think we need to.
Well, I'm trying to understand, what
Stop.
business would you be talking about?
Like,
Whoever you choose to make
t-shirts.
these products,
Yeah.
partner with.
And there may be times
I've
where we
not
say,
seen any that they did that. They don't promote, they print them and give them to you or sell them to you, but I don't,
They're businesses that, yes, they ship.
they don't have a retail situation either. Or keep renting them anyway.
It could be online and you would simply
Yeah.
order that way. I'm just, you know, we'll do whatever you
Well, I
want
think
to
once
do.
you get into that, Wednesday, Tuesdays ain't gonna be the same price as a dozen.
right, exactly.
Hats,
And
t-shirts,
that's
or-
up to the licensee. You know, and there may be times where we have a big event coming and we wanna give out t-shirts and we order some, but
Right.
that's gonna be few and far between.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not gonna be the typical.
You can fundraise too, for them, or not.
Yeah, we just need to know ahead of time, the time frame.
You go ahead and know what you're raising the funds for, and then do something
Yeah,
with it.
exactly. We need to be able to place the order to do so.
No,
And Edward, I learned something after our last meeting. That backwards one, it's a rally cap.
So what?
It's a rally cap.
Well, I don't care.
You know, your team's behind and you put your hat on inside out and backwards. It's a rally cap.
Well, thanks for that information.
So that's what it's for.
It's all that is the right way.
Oh, I saw that back.
It's like disrespect to me.
That's what it's for.
Wow.
Is that rally for them or against them?
Rally for. Rally for.
Did you bring your stuff to show?
No.
You know, you've seen the guys at the baseball game with the hat inside out. And
Yeah.
you're trying
Oh.
to rally your team.
Well, I
Okay.
learned something today.
Yep, I learned it that day, so.
As far as embroidery goes, just whoever is doing it, just keep in mind that the logo that you see is for a sewing machine.
Mhm.
It's a little bit busy, so there would need to be some small modifications. The big things would stay there, but not, I mean, that's the type of just be minutely flexible.
And some of the file that he provided a less detailed in the file for that purpose.
Okay.
Since you're familiar with it, it might not be a horrible idea to take a peek at it and tell me if it's far enough.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, the other thing on trademarking that I've looked at is you would trademark the black and white image. And you trademark the black and white image because then it is still under the trademark if someone adds color. Whereas if you trademark the colored image, all I gotta do is change one color. So. That's how people get away with copying Coca-Cola and stuff. They tweak the color. So on to the bank balance conversation.
I just want to say something. Last month, when I looked at when the CD was mature, I was looking at, and it actually doesn't mature till, the one we've got now doesn't mature until next year in February. So I got that straight, but I do have rates. And I talked to Dylan, And about the $60,000, we were talking about taking out, if that's what we decide on. But the rates are as follows, and he verified, you know, we talked about being bonded and all. He says that they have enough money, so they don't have to worry about that, and so we're covered, I mean, we're not. So the rates would be, 4 months would be 4%, an 8th month would be 3.85%, and a 17-month would be 3.8% for a CD. That's the rates at this time.
What was the last one, Ms. Marshall?
17 month was 3.8. So it's
The
just,
more the merrier.
just how we want to either take money out and put it in a CD or either put it to that other fund that we have. So,
Obviously, their anticipated rate dropped too. You can see that.
yeah. But the one thing about, if you went with the CD, then you'd be locked into that rate for
Exactly.
however much you wanted to do it, so that's just up to y'all.
So it's 4 months and,
4 months is 4%,
okay, and then 8 months and then 17 months.
and then 17 months, okay?
And where, is that gonna join one or a separate one?
No, I didn't talk to him, but no, cause see, that one don't mature till September, I mean,
So we go
February
ahead
of
and do
next
this
year.
now.
Yeah, we'll do a separate one.
Well, 8 would fall about right in place with maturity or close to
Oh, you mean is the one in next year? Yeah.
it, so we could combine them at that point. I make a motion, we go with the 8 month for that reason.
Needs to give amounts that we want to take out, right?
Yes.
You need to specify
We
amount,
had said 60, but
60,000, do you, 60,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Would, even though it ain't an exact matchup to the one in February, would it be close enough that we could combine them, or
I don't know, I'd have to ask
I
Dylan
don't know how
about
much leeway you have there to,
yeah, I know there's some, but I don't know.
that. Yeah, I don't know either. I know
I
when
wanna
we,
say 10 days, but I don't.
well, we had to take some money out to buy the car bid. And so we were penalized for that, but we had made it up in the long run, you know, because we took it out early, a little bit early. So I don't know how that would affect, you know, if we wanted to join them together.
Well, we wouldn't be taking out, we'd
No,
be adding to
add
it,
to it,
but
so-
if they
So I
let
don't know,
us.
yeah, we just have to see it. I reckon we have to talk to Dylan about that when we go to set this one up and see what he says.
Unless he's got a better suggestion on maybe 4 months and then another
Yeah,
6
we could-
months,
I
or
mean, we could talk to that, but probably the two of us. would-
would they customize you one
Yeah,
to come do when that
Exactly.
one is.
right, yeah,
Ask that possible.
yeah, we could, but we probably need the three of us need to go and talk to him. We just have to set up a time to go talk to him.
So do I need to rescind my, it's just so she can check with that, or?
But we can't do anything on the other one until next year anyway.
Right,
So,
yeah.
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 Um,
So we could go ahead and take
we
this.
could go ahead and, yeah,
Set up the $60,000 in one, and then we'll talk about that, we could talk to him when we went. So,
then we'll have some options 8 months from now
right, yeah.
to
Mhm.
put forth.
So,
Maybe our future as a country will look a little clearer.
Yeah.
oh.
So we have a motion for 60,000 on the CD at 3.85%. Do we have a second?
I make a motion. I second it. There was a motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor of moving $60,000 from our bank balance to an 8-month CD at Providence Bank at a rate of 3.85%, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So the last item on here is that we are officially in our 12th month of recording and broadcasting public meetings. And so I thought I'd give you a quick snapshot of what the system says, and then get some feedback on positives and negatives and all that. So we have 22 subscribers. Subscriber meaning someone who gets an alert every time a video posts. We've had 23 videos posted for a total of 859 views. That's an average of 37. Some are significantly higher, some are significantly lower. There's a big swing in between. Like I talked about in November, I actually went back and looked. We had, out of that 859 total views, 119 of them happened in the weeks leading up to the election. So while we have a base, relatively small group that watches every month, we had a pretty sizable spike right there in that time frame. So at least people are going back and kind of catching up before they make their decisions. Which I found interesting. There were some pieces there that I wasn't expecting. Another couple of things that I wasn't expecting that I think have turned out to be blessings if we use it. It makes it real easy for you guys to know what your subordinate boards are up to without having to make time to sit down and meet. So it's great. The other thing that I noticed is it's good for self-critiquing. Self-critique. I usually don't watch planning board. I usually don't watch Mobile Committee because I don't have a whole lot of input into what those two boards do. I watch ours, and most of the time I'm watching me. And I'm doing that because, I'm going to get a little bit on the personal side here. As a Christian man, what I do outside that church building is my witness.
Right.
That includes that. And it allows a unique outside view of what I look like to the world and what each of us individually look like to the world. So I strongly suggest you take a look at some of your videos and just humbly look and say, I probably didn't do that right. Or I did that better than I expected. It's actually been a good opportunity for self-reflection for me. So I encourage everybody to do just that. Any more? Like Brian said, when we were talking about re-upping it, it's an opportunity to hold ourselves accountable, but it only works if we look at it. That's not a drive for views, we've got plenty of views. Right? So,
It is a difficult thing to look at, though.
it can be.
To self-evaluate.
Oh, yeah.
But I appreciate your comment, because, yeah, I think it can be helpful.
I think it probably helps us to realize how other people see us, you know, when they're looking at it.
We don't normally get that opportunity.
No,
Our perception of a situation is very rarely exactly what anybody else took it as. So. Any further comment on that? Okay, Terry?
I can say that the difference in the interaction, Thursday night with the outreach committee, was startling. And it may just be the makeup of our committee, I'm not sure, but the discussion was a lot more free or open without the video. But the first video of the planning committee, I went back and watched, and I was watching me for the same reason that you mentioned. So I can see it both ways.
Thank you, Terry. Unless we have any other new business. Anybody?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.